back to NH Unscripted. We are on the road again. I am your happy to be out of bed host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. Don't be jealous. It's nice and cool down here. It is a scorcher out there right now. You know the routine. Break out those transistor radios. Get out your Walkmans. Throw away those junky headsets. Fire it up to the AM, FM band. You will find us at 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are both Concord-based. 101.9 FM for the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls in Manchester. And yeah, as always, I got to tell you, we got a URL, nhtalkradio.com. Duh, that's the hangout for all the cool kids. You know that. We are, I'll give you a little bit more information about what goes on out at nhtalkradio.com. But I have to thank my sponsor, Lakes Region Fence. Matt McGonigal and the folks up there in Guilford. LRFence.com is their URL. They do unbelievably incredible, beautiful work. I mean, really, it's like art. It's like fence art. I'm going to park it there and say art. I've been known to call it something else. However, you can go out to lrfence.com. That's lrfence.com. There is a button out there where you can get a free estimate. We old folks like free. We like coupons. We like to go to Costco, get the little free sample foods. Yep, we are into free, baby, free. lrfence.com. You can get a free estimate. Matt will get back to you. They do everything. Property lines. They do pool fences. Pickleball. Are you into pickleball? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Even though looking at me, you would think, oh, that man's a god. He must do sports. But you know what? I don't. LRFence.com. There are gigabytes. I was going to say megabytes, but we're past that. Gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes of photos of the work they do out there. LRFence.com. Give Lakes Region Fence a call or go out to their URL. Get a free estimate. Come on, summertime, get it done. Get your pool done. All right. We have another one today that should be an award-winning show. I expect the trophy any day now. In the studio with me is Daniel Siletti. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ray. How you doing?
Oh, as you can tell, well, I got my Nehru jacket on. I got my bell-bottom pants on. I am doing good. They let
you
me
look
out.
great.
Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. Daniel, why are you here today? What is happening in your life?
Well, if I'm not trying to, solve the problems of the world, I'm actually the real reason I'm here.
Someone is.
I know. I'm here to basically give a little promotion for an upcoming show I'm going to be doing here at your WKXL.
Yes. All right, let's get into it now that you kicked the door open.
I did.
So, why are you doing a show?
Well, I've lived in New Hampshire for going on, it's almost like 15 years? No, I don't know.
I got lint older than that.
But I went to school for journalism, and I did a radio show all about movies and TV shows at WKNH at Keene State, and then I transferred that to a television version of it at Concord TV right here in Concord, and I said I wanted to do another show about the music side of media, the soundtracks, the TV themes, the songs sung by actors, written for films, movie musicals, all that stuff. And I said, why not do it right here in Concord at a station right here, and it can be broadcast to Concord, broadcast to Manchester, and it'll give people a new look on music, and it'll be something on radio that they'd never heard before, because a lot of these songs you don't hear on the radio.
Yeah. So have you picked out a name yet?
I have. It's going to be called Soundtrack Cinema.
Okay.
And it is going to feature all those types of music that I mentioned, the soundtracks, the themes,
Are we talking like the big things like the Star Wars, the John Williams stuff, all that?
John Williams, the King, all hail. We will be playing him. We'll be playing Alan Silvestri. We'll be playing your classic TV themes, your modern TV themes, and even like songs sung by actors that you wouldn't necessarily hear. I mean, we'll be playing everything from, Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap and Star Trek Enterprise. He's a singer. And then, we'll even play Pierce Brosnan from Mamma Mia. He's not the best, but he did his best.
Yeah. So, oh man, okay.
I know.
All right, let's back this up a bit.
Okay.
You went to school for journalism.
Nice. There it is. Oh, John Williams and Indiana Jones, don't let anybody say that Indiana Jones 5 Dial of Destiny was bad, because it was a good send-off. Or was it?
At least there's one of you who liked it.
There we go.
That's
a great
you dog. Leave it to the pros,
great touch.
Man.
Love that. Thank you.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks, baby. The man behind the booth. Thank you, Andrew.
Love that. Thank
you. There are some things like that, right? You hear it, you instantly know what it's from, where you were, right? They just pull you back in time. They're like literal timestamps of your life.
Absolutely. And and the goal of this is also to educate people. Sometimes they hear a song and they don't know what it's from, or they think it's from something else and that's all they think it is. Like the one staple, believe it or not, I keep constantly hearing is that, Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney and Wings is from Shrek 3.
Wait, what?
And I'm like, no, it's not.
What?
It's from the Bond film, Live and Let Die.
I would never have known it was even near Shrek.
Neither did I, but it was featured in that, and that's I've had people say that's what they think they know it's from, and it's not. It's not. It originated as Roger Moore's first theme.
Man, that is crazy. It's funny you mention it. I touch on a lot of older TV shows,
sure,
songs, and things here, and I was out looking for things, and I'm coming across like All in the Family.
Oh yeah,
Laverne and Shirley.
Yep.
There's a lot of those iconic shows that had songs, or whatever, they pop into your head. Like we were talking this morning, you and I, about Get Smart.
Yes.
There are things that you hear it and you.
Boy, the way.
Dude, you are worth every.
He is on it. See, the thing about this song is that I'm afraid to play it because people are going to immediately turn off their radios because of poor Gene Stapleton singing.
That was.
There it is.
Oh, you are killing me back there, baby. You are killing me.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Timing is everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, you start in journalism.
Yes.
How do you go from there to movies?
Well, I've always had a love for movies and television. I initially went to Keene to do filmmaking, and I was going there as a transfer junior from NHTI, actually. And I said, the stuff they want you to take for me to get out in 2 years is a lot. It is a lot. And I'm the type of movie guy who will watch a bunch of stuff, but I'm also like, okay, I don't necessarily need to watch all the weird type of movies or the rated R stuff or anything like that. So I said, well, journalism is something else I wanted to try. And I went to that and I said, this is great. This gets me out and I'm learning something. And the way I see it is that with doing the radio show there, and I did some news updates there as well, and now with the TV show at Concord TV, I'm still continuing on my journalism path because I'm in media, I'm working with TV and radio, and that's the best part. But I still continue to enjoy movie making because I actually do make movies. I'm a local filmmaker.
Got you. So, oh man, he kicked open a different door.
There's that door again.
Which door am I going to open up here? All right. So,
yeah,
you did some radio at Keene State.
Yes.
What was that like?
That was a great experience. It was.
Was it about film? Sound again?
It was. Yeah, that was the show. The show was. We picked a subject, and we would. I would bring on some friends of mine, and we would discuss the topic. We did everything under the sun. Everything from like Back to the Future to Psych to Star Trek to Star Wars. Anything you could possibly think of, and we would discuss it and give our opinions of it. And then at the end of the show, I would play a little game with all of them called Who Are You? I would play a clip from something. They didn't know what it was, and they have to tell me who it is and or what it is from. And most of the time they got it wrong, which means they didn't get points, but the points don't matter.
Dang, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you hoping to transfer that over to the
that
show?
And that is now that's
the template?
That's the exact show I do at Concord TV. That is the exact same thing. We pick a subject, we discuss it, but now it's visual, so I can show the clips of whatever the topic is, and I will, and we can give our more opinions on it and have a little bit more fun with it. But I intend to bring at least the Who Are You segment even onto Soundtrack Cinema. Because it's a great way to hook the audience, I think, back into the next episode of the show. Okay, here's the answer from last week's show. But doing this type of stuff between the show that I want to do here at KXL. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
but KXL, Soundtrack Cinema, and then also As the Reel Turns. Great stuff.
Man. Hey, won't you play another Somebody Done Somebody Wrong song? Yes, you are listening to NH Unscripted, and yes, I am your BJ Thomas-like host, Ray Dudley, and yes, we are coming to you from the YMCA-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, 101.9 FM in Manchester, NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Daniel Siletti's in the house.
Hey there.
We're talking business. Be right back. Mother of God.
Oh, man.
Marty, we gotta get back.
Where?
Back to the future.
Ooh, Mama, you have the privilege of listening to NH Unscripted. Ooh, Mama, I am Ray Dudley. You're so happy to be out of bed, host. Mother of God, they let me out of the home to do this one today. We are so happy. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord on your Sony Walkmans. What the heck is the plural of that? And 101.9 FM for you folks in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL, and we are having more fun than I thought we were going to be having. This is loaded. Daniel Siletti is in the house.
Hey there.
Daniel is going to have a new program here at NH Talk Radio and WKXL, and it is going to be called...
It's going to be called Soundtrack Cinema.
Soundtrack Cinema. Won't only deal with cinema, correct?
Correct. It'll have silver screen, small screen, movie musicals, anything you could possibly think of that had music connected to it and the screen.
You know, I was over at Red River maybe a week ago, a little bit more than that maybe, and they were having a short film festival over there. Mm-hmm. I could not believe the quality of the films that were being shown. There were like 14 of them. They were on 10, 15 minutes long, some of them. Some of them animated, some of them just regular, and I'm like, wait, how is this happening? How did this go from somebody's mind conceptualizing this to the screen? It was, first of all, I don't get animation. I mean, I don't get it. I just, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, anybody can film something nowadays with their phone or whatever.
It's true. It's true.
And make it look, and you can add music. But to make an actual, like, animated film, or even just to make a film where you've got an idea and you think, well, I don't know, I kind of like the concept here. I think it would translate good to film.
Right.
So you said you're an independent filmmaker, so... Travel down that road. How does all that happen?
You know, it's all about the vision you have. I make this joke with some friends of mine saying, like, all right, I have a vision, and then they immediately all walk away. But
my friends run.
It's all about having the idea of something, and when you say short films, I was actually in the high school version of that when I was in high school. We had a very small kind of dysfunctional film club, but we made films and produced them to the short film festival for high school. And we got in the final 3 times, and we got the audience award, or we tied for it the second year, which was loads of fun. And then, but those were more had a restraint on them. They had to be, a certain time limit, a certain type of thing. You really couldn't do any big originality parts. What I do is I always, when I watch a movie or a TV show, I always say, like, I want to be part of that. Who doesn't want to be part of fill in the blank?
Right.
But I say, like, okay, I don't look like James T. Kirk, or I don't look like James Bond or something like that.
I look like the Fonz.
You do. You do.
For those who don't know.
Hey. But no, I always say I want to be part of those. So I say, okay, I will take that concept, write in a completely original idea around it, and then make my own version of it. So you go to YouTube, you can type in Batman fan film, and you'll see 1,002 Batman fan films out there.
Good ones, too.
Exactly. For me, I do other franchises. Like I did every Halloween, I do a Halloween Twilight Zone film. I get together a whole bunch of other directors and we make our own segments and I put them all together. And this year I'll be making my 9th one, which is amazing stuff.
Where have you been? Oh my God!
I've been I don't know where I've been, honestly. Stuck in my own head, probably.
Oh, I've had those LSD trips.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll have to scratch that.
Scratch that part, yeah. But no, I did a James Bond parody film where it was a complete 180. We had James Bond's American cousin Jane Bond, and she goes off on a mission of some sorts. And I've done like an adventure type of thing, sort of like Indiana Jones, but not exactly. He's an adventuring linguist. He goes off and deciphers things. I did a series of when COVID was high. I did a series of little cartoon shows where it was I had cartoons walking around the house. That's your thing with animation. I got a whole bunch of green screen stuff and I put the cartoons in my house.
Like Tom and Jerry or something?
Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, Jessica Rabbit, anybody I could possibly think of. And then I'm finishing up I'm writing the finale right now. I've done my own Doctor Who show. It's really silly, but it's called Doctor Who School Days, and it's about like a kind of a high school, college age doctor who goes through a whole bunch of schools and defeats the classic villains and stuff like that. But I'm finishing up the season 4 finale, which I never thought I'd say because it was supposed to be a one-off show and that was it. But all this stuff, it's amazing, loads of fun to do. And then I also write fan fiction audiobooks too, and I record those and have loads of fun.
Mother of God, you are so. How do you have time for a radio show?
Well, it's not easy. It's not easy, but
it's not easy being green. Well, you go.
It's not easy being green. That's right. But no, and with the chapters especially, I intend to have a chapter of the show of whatever book I decided at the end of the soundtrack cinema as another way to hook in the audience. We want to see what happens to the characters, and I have 3 different series. I have a James Bond series where it's James Bond and his American sidekick 00 Siletti. That's me. The Danny Wilcox Adventures, who is the supposed great-grandson of Indiana Jones. We don't quite know, though. And then I have a Harry Potter series where I took some friends of mine and I created characters around us and I threw us into Hogwarts and we're kind of like friends of Potter a little bit. So it's loads of fun. And doing those and then doing the movies as well, that all comes back to the point of where we can't be Harry Potter, but maybe we can be a friend of Harry Potter. Because I think there was like a comic book out there, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Okay, Jimmy Olsen can't be Superman, but he can be his pal.
Yeah. Oh man. So, are you? All right. Do you have a URL?
I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
That's what I can give you. It's Daniel Siletti, Daniel Siletti. Very simple to find me. Just find the picture of James Bond. That's me.
I have been out to your YouTube site.
Oh, well, thank you. There it is.
Perfect.
Nice.
Right, and again, people instantly know what that is.
Exactly.
Instantly know what that is.
And there's 25 films out there with not only their title songs, but soundtracks full of music. And I intend to play those soundtracks on this show because people only know Daniel Craig when it comes to Bond sometimes, and they don't know the other 5 guys that came before them.
Mother of God.
I know.
Dude, they need to be arrested.
They do.
That cannot be. We cannot let that go. On your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Are you going to do so? How do I say this?
Yeah.
On your YouTube channel,
yes.
You have a cohort, a a buddy who tends to come in from time to time. Are you going to be bringing him in? I know you have other guests as well, but he tends to come in.
Yeah, from the TV show, from As the Real Turns, I have a whole bunch of cohorts and stuff like that, both human and inanimate too.
Okay.
And I'll explain that. But yeah, no, I have loads of friends who would want to definitely stop in on the show. And then if you've watched As the Real Turns, I have this little.
And I have.
You'll see a thing at the beginning sometimes where it's called an entertainment update, where we give little updates on things in the world. And if I don't have a guest reporter, I will sometimes use this puppet I have. And I thought, well, that'd be a fun co-host maybe, but I'm not even sure I'm not going to do that.
May not work on the radio.
Exactly,
Daniel.
but you know what I mean.
Pro tip here.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, no, I intend to bring, if they're willing to come on, for sure. I would love to have people to jump on the show because, as much as, this is my Shatner ego coming out. As much as people want to hear the sound of my own voice, and I do. No, I'm kidding. It'd be nice to have someone to bounce off of, I'm sure, every so often.
Well, yes, absolutely. So the great thing about watching your videos is, first of all, there's an incredible amount of work that has gone into those. I was very surprised by the volume of effort you must have gone through because not only were you prepared, your guests were prepared.
Yeah.
I saw one where you did about something. It was an episode about all of cartoon characters that have been involved in TV shows.
Oh, yes.
And everyone was in there. From the Roadrunner to Yosemite Sam, you had Tom and Jerry. All right, hang on.
They take notes.
We got to put a pin right there. We are glad all over here at NH Unscripted. I am your Dave Clark 5-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Hawaii 5-0-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios, 101.9 FM. Those folks in Manchester, because we love you. You know we do. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. And you know we're not going to get through all the info. Daniel and I got to hammer away, though. We'll be right back.
To the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Oh, welcome back, my friends, to NH Unscripted. Ooh, we are pulling the classics out today.
I love it.
Are we not? Son of a gun. Yes, we are NH Unscripted, and we are coming to you from the HR Puffin Stuff like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. Man, oh man, oh man, I am your Marty Croft like host, Ray Dudley. Whew, mama, we're having fun. I don't even know where to begin half the time now. I'm 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are Concord-based on your Walkman. 101.9 FM in Manchester for the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful folks down there. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. You know, it's funny you play that. I was looking at something the other day about Batman. It's funny you mentioned that. And it's amazing how many big stars were in that classic show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was Frank Gorshin. Is that his last name?
Yep, Gorshin. Yeah, Frank Gorshin. Yeah,
and he was an impressionist too at the time. And boy, he played the Riddler. My God! And then you had Burgess Meredith, and then you had
Cesar Romero.
Yes. Oh, it was crazy.
Love it.
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
One of 3 Catwomen. Yeah.
Oh, get me started. But you know, it's funny. You're going to have a wealth of information for your show, which is really tremendous.
I'm excited.
I started to talk when we left the last segment here about you did an excellent episode. I can't believe all the work that went into the one with you did all of the cartoon characters in various movies or TV, mainly movies.
Yeah.
You did Space Jam. You were doing Roger Rabbit. There were films there I didn't even know existed. And there's like cartoon characters.
Hey. You are on it. Huh? I love it.
Huh? Nothing but the best here. Let me tell you. You had them all in there, though.
It's true. It's true. No, those live-action cartoon hybrids were so interesting to me, and I love those. And I remember I did like an outdoor movie night with a whole bunch of friends of mine one time, and we showed Roger Rabbit, and one of them actually didn't come because they were afraid of that type of genre. I'm like, how can you be afraid of that? What? You're afraid of like...
Wait, I don't get that.
I know, neither did I. So, but no, I love those types of movies, and that was a fantastic episode, and that type of stuff is what brought me to do the thing I did at COVID, the quarantine with cartoons, because I said I always wanted to have Bugs Bunny next to me. I want to have Roger Rabbit next to me. So I did like 20 of these episodes, and some were a lot easier to do than others, but because you're working with green screen here, and you have to play some Harvey stuff. Like I think we talked about Harvey.
Yeah,
you have to talk to thin air,
right? So
you have to pretend something was there, and that series worked really, really well, and then the episode of As the Real Turns worked really, really well. The one that didn't work out so well is I made a Pink Panther film a while ago now, and it's one of those things that
Steve Martin version or the
Peter Sellers.
Peter Sellers, thank you.
Well, it was neither of them. I was the detective, and I rarely say this, but I say don't ever watch that movie I made because it was so bad.
What?
I tried to... there it is. I tried to do the same thing, but a little bit more.
Yeah.
I tried to have the Pink Panther, steal the diamond himself. I tried to put him into the movie, and it just didn't work. But I'm willing to retry it another time. I'm willing to make another Pink Panther film sometime, but...
The Minky.
Yes. But no, that genre is so cool, and I'm so happy they're still making some of them. I forget what the latest one we talked about on that show was. I think it might have been...
You did do Toy Story.
Yeah, we did. The latest episode of the show, I think, was the latest one was MASH. We talked MASH.
What?
And the guest I had kind of misled me a little bit because he said like, "Oh yeah, I know MASH," and then he kind of was a little rocky on the whole episode, but it worked out really, really well. And there's enough to talk about.
Talk about an iconic show.
I mean, everything from the movie to the show to the spin-offs, there was enough to talk about.
Right. Well, the show came because of the movie, right?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
One of those few instances, like...
it was reverse. So because you had a movie, and they decided to make an incredible TV series
Incredible show. But yeah, no, MASH was one of those things. Another example is Fame. Fame was a movie first, then came to a series.
Yes, good connection.
Which... is a guilty pleasure show of mine, I will admit. But
I'll bet every high school theater kid...
We did that. We did like a junior version of it in high school, and that was the first play I did, and it was so bad. But I said I got to check out this television show first, and I said okay, this saved it. But yeah, no, those. It's been known to happen. A movie comes first and then a show. It's not always successful, but it's known to happen.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I got so much to ask.
We got to do a part 2.
I know. So
sequel.
When you think of things that you want to talk about, obviously there are instantly things that come to the forefront of your mind because they're just famous or whatever. What are some of those? Like, I think of, when you say Star Trek, I instantly think of like The Wrath of Khan.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Right? I mean, to me, that's just... Yeah, right. So, in the original Star Wars trilogy, all of those. When you think about, okay, my first radio episode, here's what I'm going to talk about as like to kick it off. What comes to mind?
So, I'm going to play stuff that immediately, stuff like that, play stuff that's recognizable, play some Star Trek, play some John Williams, play some Alan Silvestri. We heard the Back to the Future there, but I also want to make people know that sometimes you can take a stretch. Like I want to have a segment where it's called we're stretching it, where a song can be connected to something. It's not necessarily part of the soundtrack, but it's so synonymous with it that it might as well be. Like there is a scene in the latest Addams Family incarnation, Wednesday. Yeah. There was a famous dance segment that became like a viral thing, and the song that was played in that scene has become so synonymous with it that it's like, oh well, it might as well be part of the soundtrack.
Is it an original song, or is it it's a song by something?
It's a song called the Goo Goo Muck by the Cramps.
Rolls off the tongue.
I think.
Never heard of it.
But it became so connected with it that it might as well be part of the soundtrack. And then I also want to have segments where, they may not all have been good, but Elvis Presley was a big movie star.
Yes.
And He did a bunch of songs in his movies.
Too young to even know about him.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Great. Great.
He had a whole bunch of songs in his movie, so I want to have an Elvis segment, and then of course like a lightning round. If like something, if a TV theme was pretty short, we can have like 3 themes in a row, and I'll give information. And I plan to give information about every movie or song that we talk about, either before or after the song, and it all comes back to the idea of education. I want to educate people on these songs.
That is brilliant. You know, I meant, you reminded me of something when I watched your YouTube, a couple of your YouTube things. You did a really good thing where at the bottom of the screen, while you're talking about a certain segment, you would have a little known fact or did you know?
Yes, yes, the did you knows.
The things that folks didn't know. I did not know. I'm looking at them like, what? That cannot be.
Yeah.
They were like little factoids.
Those are things that either we forget to mention on the show or little factoids I put in during the editing phase. And I've had people like say, oh, I listened to the show, this is great, or I'm going to work on something while the show is playing. But I'd say like, no, when it comes to this TV show, when it comes to As the Real Turns, you got to watch it for those factoids, because there might be something in there that either you're saying, why didn't he mention that? Well, there it is. Yeah. Or here's something extra.
Yeah, it embellished it actually on some of the points that you had actually made.
Right.
Tell me, because, and not just me, obviously the audience, there is a huge amount of work that goes into that. I mean, granted, radio's a little bit different. You have to come in prepared. There's nothing visual for the most part.
Right.
But your YouTube videos that you do at CTV, it's a huge amount of editing there. You had to have clips, sound bites. Your guests all had to be up on what you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
I mean there was a lot going on.
It's not easy. It's not, because you got to make sure
being green,
being green. You got to make sure that everything fits well enough, because especially when I add the clips, it will. The shows usually, the episodes of As the Real Turns usually end up being like, I don't know, anywhere from like an hour to hour 15, because there's so much to talk about sometimes. Yeah. And if it goes over, I have to say, oh, I got to split this up into 2 parts or something like that, because there is so much to talk about, especially in one subject. Because I know like this summer we're covering all of Star Trek, and we just
is that even possible?
Well, I fit all 13 doctors in one show for Doctor Who one time. It wasn't easy, but the first one we did everything from the original series up to Enterprise, which is 6 shows. And I even said to myself, I said, oh man, I got to split this up 3 and 3, because
wait, are you talking movies and TV
just
shows?
The TV shows this time.
Okay.
Next time, hopefully, we're going to talk movies, but because we have only so much time to talk about it, you know, we're gonna. I told my guests, I said, okay, we're gonna play the trailer, which is what we usually do. We say, play the trailer, talk, favorite point, move on, favorite talk, move on, and so on.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna talk about that when we come back. My mother of God, is this even possible? What is happening in my life? Ooh, we are forever in blue jeans here at NH Unscripted. Ah, yes, I am your Neil Diamond-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Gong Show-like digs of the WKXL Studios, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. That's on your Sony Walkman, because you're cool. 101.9 FM for all you beautiful folks in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. I give you some info on that when we come back. Daniel Siletti. Hey, mother of God, we're talking business. We'll be right back.
When things get rough, HR, pop and stuff. Can't do a little 'cause you can't do enough.
In case you're having a senior moment, welcome back to NH Unscripted.
NHR Puffin Stuff Unscripted.
There you are. Oh my God. We are coming to you from the Fantasy Island-like digs of the WKXL Studios, baby. I am the bland host, Ray Dudley. Oh my God. Life is good. Honest to goodness. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM. The shows like this today it's what life's about. 101.9 FM in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. By the way, that's where all the cool kids hang out, because there's a button out there where you can listen live. So let's say every Wednesday or Friday morning, 9 o'clock, you're like, hey, isn't there an old guy on the radio somewhere I can listen to? Yeah, you can go out there, push the button. You'll hear this show every Wednesday, Friday, like I said, 9 a.m. Plus all the archives of this show and all of the other great shows that take place here. Daniel's show also will be archived out there.
Hopefully.
You'll find it. Yes. All the archives are out there. Anyway, we are having a ball. Let me say this live. Well, on the radio. I so appreciate Daniel and I so appreciate Andrew back there because this is what
100% agree.
This is what entertainment's about. You know, I love to get people in. I love to geek out about stuff. I was going to ask you about what you used to edit and all that. We may get into that, maybe not. But you know what? It's just all about having fun, right? Life's too short. Life's too short. I say that as a 70-year-old man. Anyway, Daniel.
Yes.
When we were talking last, we were talking about the work that you and your guests have to do pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, when I look at your videos, I'm like, how many hours have been spent? Look, just the Toy Story one. The Toy Story. I'm like, how's he going to get? An hour later, I'm still watching, and you're still pulling up clips and talking about Buzz Lightyear.
Well, it all started back in 1998. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I
was in the balcony and I puked. Goonies.
It does take a lot of work. You're right, and sometimes you had mentioned that things get flagged on YouTube for copyright.
Right.
I've been there a whole bunch of times. Not always for the movies and the other fun shows I make, but for this one because I use the straight up clips. And if sometimes there's a scene where I need to show that. I'll try to find an alternate source, or I will upload it to a different spot or something like that. Something to maybe get it around it. But if it really does beg that I have to get rid of it, I'll either show like a bunch of pictures of that scene, or I will just completely cut it out. I don't want to, but
yeah, Andrew, I don't know if I told you, but this show gets flagged. If it's a soft copyright, every episode I've put up on YouTube has gotten flagged.
Really?
Because I make a song reference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or a TV show. Every single one. It said copyright, but author not offended or something like that.
Yeah, if it's not offended or anything, or it's like partially blocked, then I leave it alone. Because, if the people in, I don't know, Tanzania or something like that can't watch it, then that I apologize to my Tanzanian fans. But,
both of them.
In a way, that's why radio's easier than YouTube anyway.
Which is why I'm excited for this, because with this one, even if I have someone with me or not, what I get to do is I get to play the song I talk about, and then I give the little factoid, and then we move on.
Yeah,
it's easier, and it's song talk, chapter of book and game, but it's all in good fun, and that's why I'm really excited for Soundtrack Cinema, because it'll be something for me to enjoy, and it'll be something for the audience to enjoy, and just have a great time, because they'll turn. What I'm hoping is they'll tune their radio and they'll hear something. Oh, I remember that theme, or I've never heard that actor sing, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Have you thought about at all about tying them all together? I know you do audiobook, you do voiceover work, you do your video, you do now radio and film. Have you thought about like creating a theme where for one episode or something, all of those facets are tied together with the same idea or character?
Yes and no. Like I know I'm in the middle of production for a second Jane Bond film right now, and I pluck Daniel Siletti from the audiobooks and have him make an appearance in the movie. Yeah. And I've had like Danny Wilcox make an appearance in the adventuring film. So I cross the characters over every so often. And then the voice work, who knows? I could be talking something about Disney, and after the song's played, I could interview Mickey Mouse. I mean, I don't think he's here right now, unfortunately, but I could bring him on.
Right. Well, if he appeared, I would so jump onto my skin. So, have you got a sponsor yet?
I don't have a sponsor yet. That is the major roadblock that I'm at right now. I know some businesses had some interest, but then they were off and on. So I don't know why people haven't jumped out of their seats for this, because, like I've always said, it's something new.
Yeah.
But my major plea, I'm on my knees right here in the studio.
Yeah.
If anyone can sponsor me, I would greatly appreciate it.
I know. I hope there's somebody out there, because that would be so wonderful. This has to get on the air. I mean, there has to be somebody out there. Come on,
my favorite.
You need a hero, basically.
Oh,
we do.
If Christopher Reeve was here, I'd definitely like him to save me right now.
Classic, right?
I love
Classic.
This is my all-time favorite John Williams theme. I'm a major Indiana Jones fan. I'm a Star Trek fan, but I love the Star Wars theme.
Why this?
Superman is Christopher Reeve.
Listen to that drum roll.
Oh
gosh,
it sounds so good. Christopher Reeve's Superman theme is the best because it's not heard all the time. I go to a John Williams concert, like they had one in Concord. I went to see that.
What? They did?
They did. He wasn't there, but it was like a tribute to all his music. It sounds so good, and you just want to like jump out of your seat and fly. That's what you want to do.
Yeah,
right there. Yes, but no.
Classic.
In all the medleys and stuff like that, you hear Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Harry Potter, blah blah blah. You never hear Superman, or in any movie medley you hear, Back to the Future, the three I mentioned, anything else, but you just don't hear the Superman one too often. And any opportunity that comes, I say nobody talk. I want to just listen to this song. And if you haven't, everyone knows the pre-recorded version that we heard. That's actually like a distributed version. Listen to the film version, which is the prelude plus main title march from the actual soundtrack. That's the one where there's a little bit of extra sounds in there, a little bit of extra horns, and it sounds so good.
Wow.
So good.
How do you even know that stuff? Molly, geesh. I feel so stupid. So I want to get it out before we end up again. Your YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel, yes. Daniel Siletti, Daniel Siletti. Look for the picture James Bond, and then you can explore the channel. And I think everything should be organized in playlists too, so that's an easier organization.
And they are, by the way. And the name of your radio show will be?
The name of the radio show is Soundtrack Cinema. If anyone out there, give me a sponsor. I'd love to have you.
It's perfect. Okay. Glad we got those back up. Ooh, I'm supposed to tell people about I Pagliacci. Dang it. Happened in Pittsfield, July 17th, 18th, I believe. I Pagliacci up in Pittsfield. You believe that? Opera in Pittsfield.
Opera.
Yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyway, are there any genres that you're not comfortable with covering?
I will play.
Oh, that you won't cover?
I will play pretty much anything. I will play everything from, like I've said, the soundtracks and themes to the actors and movie musicals. There's one song you'd have to twist my arm to play, and it's Over the Rainbow. The Wizard of Oz soundtrack is perfectly fine.
Iconic.
It's perfectly fine, but you know what? Every time I watch something that, and here's our musical guest, and America's Got Talent finalist, here's her song, or something like that, they always choose Over the Rainbow. I've heard this song so many times, and I'm like, okay.
He's so callous.
Judy sang it fine. Leave her alone. We'll move on from there.
He's so callous.
But maybe I'll play it, or if I'm really sick that day, I have a sub. It's like, oh, now welcome to Soundtrack Cinema. We're playing Over the Rainbow against Daniel's Will or something.
That'll be the last time that sub is ever back.
Oh yeah,
my goodness.
But no, I might play it, but in all seriousness, there's probably not too much I would say no to.
Yeah.
There are some songs within a soundtrack of a film where it's like, the whole song just sounds like, there it is. It also just sounds like bomb. That's all it is. But, I wouldn't be opposed to a lot.
Yeah.
Final front.
Spock, I think it's time to end the show. End transmission.
That is crazy. Is that the end there, baby? Oh, my God.
It's a 5-year mission.
You are listening to NH Unscripted.
To seek out new life, new civilizations.
I am your Captain Kirk-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Star Trek-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. Daniel Siletti is in the house. Man, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was a wonderful pleasure.
And NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. We are signing off from the bridge, baby. We're out of here.
Absolutely. Live long and prosper.
Yes.
Thank you again.